Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode, up to episode 3 of the Timberborn series. So we're still sitting here on day 11 of cycle 8, so with another 12 days left of the drought. And we've got a few things that I wanted to get done today. So the main one of those being is just getting the colony prepared to have some more beavers and to get a few more things done. So one of the first things that I wanted to do to get that ready is to get this project going with the windmills going along here. So I'll speed them up a little bit so they can start doing some more things. And these are already been prioritized, but I did put them on lower priority from the previous video. So I'm going to set these back to back to high priority so they can get that built. And they should have all the resources around the need, as is just logs, more logs. And then this one does have some planks, but it's only 20. So we have we've got 46. So that should be plenty fine. So one of the other plans that I wanted to do while that one's going in the background is just to get some different types of food going. So the main reason I want this is if we look at the recipe for carrots, we get 3 food from each bit of area. With the potatoes, you may only get 1 potato from each piece, like each area that you have there. But when you combine that with the grill here, you can see that it actually makes 4 potatoes per 1 piece of food. So we can store it up and then use it again later, which would be very handy. So to get that going, what I'm going to do is just unmark that area there for planting. So they can still pick the carrots and whatever. And then once they've cleared that area, we can then put some potatoes in that area there. But to keep that going, get ahead of it, I'll grab the grill here. And I'm thinking I might just pop it down here. This seems like a good spot just in this area. And have that going here. I'm going to set the workplace as the lowest because I don't really want them there yet. And I'll set that as grilled potatoes just to begin with. If I don't set that, then they won't be doing anything once there is anything to go. And I might get a couple of these going just to start with. You can have a quick look on the progress down here, which they're all done except for the windmill that I paused. So I'll unpause that one, and then I can start putting in the next area along here. So that'll just be the 2 dam pieces along there, a straight power shaft, and another windmill on there. And we'll do the same thing once again on here. Power shaft and windmill, and they should get these done relatively quickly. It'll actually be better once this is going again. And I will actually start the lumber mill going. We'll need some power, but once they finish this, I was gonna say hopefully we'll have some power, but we don't actually have any at the moment, so I might have to wait around a little bit for that one. Alright, well, this guy's got nothing to do, so I might just delete that flag. Don't need that no more, and that'll free up another job. So I'll let these guys get on with this, and then I'll bring you back in a little bit. Okay, so a little bit of time has passed, and I've just brought you in at night, but they have done these 2 windmills along here. So what this means is, even though it's the dry season, we don't have any water going through here to power the wheels, the windmills will be powered every now and then. It won't be powered all the time. But at the moment we're actually getting 100 horsepower between the 2 for free, and now that they can work, the wind has just dropped. But I've got this guy working in here again, so he's now full up on logs. So when the power does come back through from the wind, he can then start working. And we can see along here they've also kept going and finished those 2 dam pieces there, which means they can now start working on the windmill and on that straight power shaft. And when that's in, then we have even more power. As you can see, now the wind's going again, and there's actually a decent amount going, and that means that our guy in the lumber mill here, he can keep doing some work along there. The other thing that I've got the builders working on is this area here, so I have just raised up the warehouses by 1 so I can push the stairs up, so then we can do another layer across the top here. which won't take too long. They just need some logs and some planks. So the planks will be getting a bit low, especially since I have got them started on the windmills. But there we go. They've also filled in that third windmill, which is great. So now they can put their efforts on this area in here so we can get the dam up a little bit higher. And we do have the wood for now to go with it. And I think once I've done this level here, I may actually get them to start building from the tops and the sides. So we'll look at a way that we can get them to start building that. Okay, so I'm just bringing you back in now. The potatoes have started coming through, which is great. So you can see these guys pop them into the efficient farmhouse. And then our beaver here is going to grab them, pop them in the grill, do his work with it, and then we'll get some grilled potatoes. So it's probably a good idea to get some storage going for that. So I will grab a medium warehouse, and I think for now I'll pop it maybe along this side, have a little bit of a storage area. And this one can just have the potatoes in it, so we can stockpile some potatoes on their own. And then I want to put in some storage somewhere, which up here might be an alright spot. Up on here, and I'll set that to the grilled potatoes, just there. Now we will need a little bit of a path to get up there. So I think I'll just use a platform there, which will use a little bit of science, but that's okay. Pop a path on. And then we will need some stairs to get up, and I didn't think about this side too much, might be a little bit close, but for now I will just put a staircase on there. So that'll get us a little bit more food storage as well going. So these guys have done this side of the dam here, which is pretty good. So I think what I'll actually do is rip out this part so they can get those back, and pop in some more levees along here, and then dam pieces along the top. Now a little bit of an annoying one that they can't get this bit of rubble here. Actually, I will pause this pump because I don't want it to completely dry out. I just saw that. But yes, they can't quite get this rubble here, but a little trick that you can do is if you get a few pieces around, and I'm going to put them like that, because if I place a piece there, it pushes it along and then pushes it along again. So I can actually move where those pieces are without having, well, it's a little bit of a cheaty way to do it, but now they can now access those logs, which could help them to build the rest. So that's going on fine just there. So I'll fill in this little bit in there as well, and we should start seeing some grilled potatoes come through, but they're probably being eaten just as quickly as they're being made. So that can keep going. Now, one of the other things that you really want for an efficient district is these hauling posts. So these guys don't actually do work like the farmers, get the food, make it that sort of thing. The lumberjacks cut down the trees, the foresters plant them again. They don't do work like that, but they'll just carry things in between. And their other bonus is that they have 100% carrying capacity, so they can walk with twice as many things. And that's good. We can see that the drought's just ended, so we can start filling in our water reserves again. And that also means that I'm going to unpause all of these because I want as much water as I can get. So with the hauling post, this is another one that can kind of go anywhere, and I think I might put it over here for now. And I will set the workers down to just 2 because I don't want to use up too many to start with. I often put in and eventually put another hauling post in and have that at max workers and then just the lowest workplace priority, so then they can do that. But you still have a few workers to do things because this one will be regular priority, but we can see how that goes. So man, they have thrown all that in. That's really good. As you can see, the water is coming back in now and it's starting to flow back through the rest of the map, which means we'll also get some power along this side, which is really good. Alright, so this has actually worked out really well. We're now full up on water again, and there's been barely any time that's gone past. One of the next things that I'd like to work on is getting some better storage on the go. So I'm going to unlock this medium tank here. So this is good for a couple of reasons. Main one is that it's way more efficient with how much it can store. So these small tanks, they can only store 30 liquid, and they only take up a 1x1. Now with the medium tanks, they take up a 2x2, but they can store 300. So it's a much more efficient use of the space. So I think I'm going to take out this corner of small tanks there. And in its place, I'm going to put this medium tank and high prioritize that because we really want it done, and set it to water so they can start building that up. And the pumpers will keep going in the background, filling up these smaller tanks as they go. So I think I might just start putting in the levees for the dam to make it a bit bigger. I'm just going to build it up like that for now. I don't want to do too much because I think this is going to overload our wood supply at the moment. But one thing we can do to make it a bit easier for the builders, because at the moment for them to get the wood they've got to come all the way down here, grab it and then walk all the way back up, is we can put another storage pile up here, and I'll probably do a large pile. I've got the room for it just, which is perfect. And I'll set that to wood and then obtain. So if we have, yes, it's good we have a few haulers, they will actually take the wood from here and put it up into the pile at the top. So we'll set that to an even higher priority there so they can get that done as soon as possible and start fast forward so that they can get cracking on with that. They've already built it, and I think this is probably our haulers there. Yes, they are. So you can see they're going to deposit the logs at the top and then come back down, grab the logs and pop it up. So that's one less thing that the builders have to do, and it means that the builders can do this area much easier. So I might let the builders crack on with it, and I'll bring you back in when something more interesting happens. Okay, so I'm about to, well, the beavers are about to finish building the medium tank. We can see there's only 2 planks left, and if we click on the district center, we can see these are the 2 builders that we've got here, and they're both carrying 1 plank each, which is good because they'll be about to finish that medium tank, and there it is. So now all of the water pumpers can now start putting water in there, and we'll have a much bigger supply to draw from, which is good as the bad tide is coming in 2.7 days. So we really want to get that filled up as much as possible. Yeah, so these guys are starting to build on the wall along here now, but that might take a little bit longer. But I was hoping to get a bit more food going, as that'll help us get through the drought. But I'll let these guys keep building on, and then I'll bring you back in soon. Okay, so coming back in now, we're about to start the bad tide. It's still approaching. So I will start to slowly raise up the height of these gates so I can draw out a little bit of water. And now it's fully closed, and that should help keep a little bit more water in here without it flowing out all over the place, which is good. And as we can see soon, the bad tide will start. I like seeing that every time. But our colony down here is still safe, so it looks like this is letting out a little bit of water. And then closed, open as we pump out water or as it evaporates. I think I will stop 2 water pumpers for the time being, as we don't want too much of this water going out. It's only a 8-day bad tide, which isn't too bad. We'll have plenty of water and that sort of thing. And the good thing with the bad tides is that it still gives us power through these water wheels here. And as you can see, we're making way more power than we need at the moment, but that is good. So one of the other things that could be useful for us is to have a few more beavers. I think at this point the colony can withstand it. We've still got a decent amount of food. Water's doing okay, and even though I know this is temporary, it still bugs me a little bit, but I am going to put in another lodge, and thinking I might pop it just there to start with, because then I can put a piece there, a stair on that point, and they can get up there pretty easily to build all that. They have made some progress along here. We are chewing through the wood pretty well, but if we can get this little area done before the next wet season, that'll make this area a lot more usable for us. And now that we're building from the top here, I don't think we're going to need these bits down here, so we can get rid of all of that. Get rid of it, and actually I should have stayed there. Can also get rid of that path here. And then we can plant back in the sunflowers like we had in there before. So they can do that, although I don't think they're going to be able to plant it for now because the bad water does actually contaminate this area here. So nothing will actually grow, and they won't replant them yet, but we've still got a few in there that can be used. And it does give us back a few logs and planks, which is nice. That'll help us build up along the top here. I should also put a path along here. They're not going to need it straight away, but they will need it eventually. And I might just slap these levees in across the top as well. Alright, why can't you guys do this? Someone come build that. Once that's unlocked, we can get a few more beavers, and then we can do a few more jobs, which would be nice. And there we go, it's all built. So we're doing pretty good on water. Got one of the bigger tanks now, and we could probably build another one. Trying to think of a good spot to fit it in. There's not a great one. I want to leave that open in case I want another water pumper, but I think... Sorry, we can always move it again later. There's nothing set in stone around here. So I'm going to put that one there and add another large water tank there. Cool. That's going alright. Now, we do have quite a bit of science now. So I don't know, we might be looking at unlocking something else like the gravity batteries here. So that is quite a bit of materials, 40 planks, 40 gears, and then 10 metal blocks. We do have access to all those things. And I should probably actually put down a little bit more metal storage since we have plenty of space for that. So I may actually just take out that small pile altogether and throw in a large pile, because why not? I'm going to set the path there. I have a little bit extra room, and set that to metal blocks. And I actually want to get that done first so that these guys can keep working along there. We are getting a little bit low on logs, which actually I probably could unpause one of the lumberjack flags here. And I may need to look at having some more tree cutting area, because that doesn't seem to be keeping up, well, at least with the bigger projects that I want to get going. But in preparation for getting the gravity batteries going, there is a few places we could put them. And now that I'm looking at it, this wall here might actually be a kind of cool spot to put it. So if we were going to get up there, we can probably use this area along here pretty easily. So if I maybe put some stairs there, and then we're going to have to get up to the top. Well, this actually looks like a kind of cool spot. A little bit of a longer path that'll wrap around, but that will get us up to the top here. Just need to put in a platform and another path. Oh, and I missed putting in platform just here. Run that along. Up to there, across, don't forget the little path, and that will get us up to the top here. Now the good part with this is we can put the gravity batteries up a bit higher, which means that they can store some more power, which will be handy for us. And then the next thing is just to get the power across and then up to the top. So I think it would be kind of cool to have the gravity batteries coming across the bridge. Although this bit here looks like the perfect spot to put one, since it can go the whole way down. So I may actually pop that just there and spend science points. Got them, so I may as well use them. And then I've got to figure out how I want to get the power across here. So I'm thinking I may actually drop the power down into the water and then run it along the side. Maybe. Just have to maybe extend a path or two so that they can get towards those areas. So I can run that here and here. And that should get them most of the way. So now what we can do is I'm going to need these power shafts, so we'll get the upward one and pop it just in there, and the downward, so it can take power directly from the windmill just here. Now we can use the corner piece along there, there, and I think I'm going to go up this side just there. I think that makes the most sense. So I can turn these around, go back, and connect it up using these power shafts. Oop. And that one's not going to work, because I'll need that one there. And then we'll need another upward power shaft, this time a vertical power shaft, which I love that in this new update. They make it so much easier to do stuff. And I think I'll let them get that built before I put this connection in. But I can run that one up across the top, another downward. And then I think I'll use these four ones just to make it easier in the future if I do want to get power to somewhere else. In particular, I want to add other batteries. So I'll stick those on, I'll let them get building, and then I'll bring you back when something more interesting happens. Alright, so I'm bringing you back now. We've just started cycle 10, so we've just started the wet season here and the water started flowing back through, which means that's my reminder to turn those pumps back on. And I think it's time that I'm going to put some sluice gates up the top here. So I might slow them down a little bit so I can see what's going on. And so what I think I'll do is rip out all of that there. That's a lot to do. And pop in 2 sets of levies like that. And we do want this to be at the same level as we had before. And I do want them to high prioritize that. And I'm forgetting where sluice gates are. I want some sluice gates to go in along here like that. Now, what I'm going to set them to is, I'm not going to worry about the downstream depth, it's just the contamination. And I think I'm going to set that as 0. So as soon as there's any contamination, these will close and all the water will be forced off. This will just save me having to use the floodgates each time. I forget what they're called, to set them up and down each time. Now I don't need to remember to do that. They'll just do it automatically. And by doing this, we also get another path. Well, we get a path across this side, so that when I build the rest of the dam here, I can actually, well, the beavers can get around through there. So we'll actually throw another bit of stairs in there, and I'll let them get on building that. Now they've started to make a little bit of progress down here, but I don't want them to complete that just yet. I really want them to get this area done. And the other thing that I didn't think of is that when the next bad tiger comes, I need to have that built before then. So let's maybe super high prioritize all of that so I can get it building, and I will actually stop a few jobs so that they focus on building that area there. So it's still one builder down, so I think I'm going to pause. I'm going to pause the grill for now, because we need this done more than we need the food. The food is actually doing pretty good right now. We're back up to where we were on carrots, and we still have a few grilled potatoes, but in the meantime they can still build up that. So once they've built this, I'll bring you back in. Okay, so we're a little bit further along. It didn't take them too long. We're only on day 5 now. I did throw in a small metal pile up here so that the haulers could bring up metal, since we need that for the sluice gates. But we can see that's all in now. So that means the bad water and the good water filtering will just happen automatically, which is a little bit of a nice thing just for me. So the next thing I'll do is, I think I may as well just put a lumberjack flag up here. I mean, I could get them to just take out the wood, but it seems like a little bit of a waste. So I'll mark that area for chopping and get them to cut down those ones. Because once I've got that, I can put a path in along here, and look at that, the drought's already coming back. so that once they've done that, and I will actually get them to do it like this, so that hopefully they just chop down the ones that I want. So they cut down the path sort of thing. Sorry, that's a better way of saying it. And then I can throw a path in, and then can mark the rest of it so that we can start building this area along here, which actually there's no reason I couldn't start throwing those pieces in now. So I'll drop those in like that. Oh, I actually got it at the right height. And then I guess I will also need a stairway for them to get down. And then quickly add the path in, and then I guess you can let him finish chopping down those ones. And as you can see, the builders are already starting on this side, which is good for us. So there's actually be a good time coming up with the drought, because then once the water's gone down a little bit, I can rip these out and then build the dam up a lot higher. Sorry, the reservoir, build that up high, and then we can put it back in. And I imagine that will probably be the episode after I get that done. But I'll let these guys crack on with building, and then I'll bring you back in a little bit. Okay, so I'm bringing you back in now. We have started the dry season, and I have left the water pumpers going along here so that they can pull out as much as they want, sort of thing. But I will slow them down now since all the barrels and that are full. But what has happened, if we use a little trick here and glitch into the wall, we can see that the water level is now down below the line of where the dam pieces are. So that means that I can safely rip this out without wasting any water. And then top it up with levees along here, so they can also start building it from the other side, and then finish off with the dam pieces along the top, like I had done before. So now they can start building from both sides, and they should be able to do it a little bit quicker. And I can also clean up the levees that were sitting down behind there. So I don't think this will take them too much longer to do. And we've got nice full-on water there. Food is looking pretty good. The sunflowers have started coming back in, which is nice. And I have set this pile as prioritized by the haulers, so we can have all the wood brought up here as much as we can, so it saves them having to walk back down. Alright, so it looks like they're about to finish the dam up here. There's not too many more pieces, although they're probably going to go to bed before they finish that. Or maybe they got one. No, they won't finish the second one, but that's okay. So they've nearly done that area. The other thing I was looking at is a lot of our food is pretty good, but I think I will put in at least another row of carrots. Another row of potatoes, take out a row of carrots, so that we can get our baked potato numbers up a bit more. So I think I'll do that one, and similar thing, once they harvest all these, well actually they're probably going to take quite a while to get that, so I might just get them to delete those ones, and now a builder should come and take that out, and they'll have time now because the reservoir here is all built. And the other good thing with having the sluice gates up here is we can see how high the water is, because down here it has the downstream depth listed, so 2.46. So if we look in the side like that, whoop, we can see a 2.4, a little bit below sort of thing. But now instead of glitching in through the terrain like that, we can just have a look at what the sluice gates say up there. But that works out really well for us. So I will plant in the potatoes along here. And I'll probably leave the episode just there, since we have done most of the things that I wanted to check off. So in the next episode we can see this dam start filling up again, the reservoir getting full, and we can also see them start putting in some of the battery powers along here and the power going along the side there. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed, please leave a like, please leave a comment, or share with people if you think they might enjoy it too. With that said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.